This is my Kawasaki Vulcan S 650cc. I've done a lot of cosmetic, mostly modifications since buying it, so I thought I'd just do a little video, go over them in no particular order. I should preface this by saying that the theme that I was going for with these mods is sort of post-apocalyptic chic, like Mad Max style. So anything that might be useful, bolt it to the bike, even if it's not the perfect fit, as we'll see as we go along. Right, so where should I start? Let's start at the back. We'll start at the back and work forwards. So when I first got this bike, it had a pillion seat with a rack on it for a back box, and that was this one here that the little duck is sitting on. And then I went and bought like this other sissy bar from AliExpress with a more aggressive point and another place to rest. So if anything, it gives a sturdier experience for the pillion, but also it's straight in with that ethos of I'm just going to bolt two on rather than replace one with the other. The problem with that was it meant fitting the rack was more difficult. So I bodged a fitting together, really. All these random bits of metal. The ones with all the holes in there, you can see behind the main metal is kind of just flimsy aluminium stuff that came with a rear fender extender that I ended up not using. And then the rest of it is the original pieces, which is good strong metal. That aluminium stuff is just there, A, to make it look a bit weird, and B, just as a little bit of an extra way of holding it together, so that it doesn't fall, it doesn't like weigh down if I fill this thing up. And then this thing did not come with the bike, so this is added. It's a cheapo off of Timo, but I liked it because it was black. I should say that the crossbones are not part of it. I've added those myself. They came with some skull and crossbones decals or 3D graphics. The skull is all the way under here. There he is, under there. When I first got the bike, it was pretty clean, and it had these sort of black decals on, like the K&N one there, which I really liked, like just keeping it black. But I've since gone on and made it a bit more whimsical and elaborate. Speaking of elaborate, we've got a number of different stoplights here. So you've got this one, no, don't focus on my finger, the one at the top you can see is sort of curved, and I got that off eBay. It said it fit this bike. It doesn't really, it doesn't match the curve, so the way that it's stuck on is a bit of a bodge, really. It's just double-sided sticky tape. There was nowhere to screw it, even though it has like a lip at the back to screw it. There wasn't anywhere to fit that screw. And then as time's gone on, it's sort of sliding out. Like this should all be under the lip, you know, but it keeps sliding further out. So I'll keep an eye on that. It doesn't have anywhere that it can go, but it looks a bit messy and tatty, which is exactly what I wanted, really. Like, just, oh, that's useful. I'm just going to stick it on. The original stoplight that it came with was this one here, which I don't like because it's tiny and it uses the ends for indicators, which are also tiny and hardly visible. But I left it on. Like, instead of replacing it, I've just added another one. Why not? And on top of that, there's a one that I've added up here, which could be used as a stoplight, but I've basically used it as a running light, so it just stays on bright red the whole time. I wired it to the running light instead. And the sharp eyes of you will have noticed that there are two sets of indicators. So these ones came with the bike. They weren't fitted because that one was being used. I haven't wired this one up, so the indicators no longer work on that one. So it's only two sets, not three sets. These ones are like cute little LED ones that like have the moving pattern that moves in the direction that you're turning, and then the other ones just flash as normal blinkers, but they have a projector that projects onto the ground next to the bike, so it's even more visible in low light. which again I've done on the front as well. I've got 4 of them, so it's the same on the front with the 2 different types. Just being quiet while that van goes by. Okay, so what else have I added? Oh well, I've added those bright green things. They're frame sliders. I couldn't fit them to the front because I've already got crash bars. I was looking for somewhere like random to put them, just to add a splash of colour, but I couldn't find anywhere. So they've gone there where the stand props go for now. This is a bit of a sloppy video, sorry, my phone keeps sending me messages. So I've also added soft bags. These just sort of tuck under the seat, under the pillion seat, and this one on the top just straps to the top. I'm probably going to move that one on the top to the space between the back box and the back of the bike, just to fill that space. At the minute I've just got a little tiny bag that just holds like spare fuses and bits and bobs, but I think this will fit there better and just complete the silhouette of the bike. The seat itself is what do you call it, or a core seat? I can't remember which one. I paid 300 odd quid for it, but it's a lot more comfortable. But then I've also left this Airhawk thing that came with the bike on, not because I need it for comfort per se, but because I'm short and that makes the distance to the foot gear and to the bars a little bit shorter, and because it just looks daft. Not daft, but it looks like anything that can be useful has been bolted to the bike. You know, that sort of post-apocalyptic, never waste anything look. That's what I'm going for. I've also done some random sort of like wrapping. So I've wrapped these little pieces in carbon fiber. Same with the radiator bits. They've been wrapped in a carbon fiber look thing. We've got some more skulls here. The original black decals are all still on, but hidden by most of what I've done, unfortunately. What else we got? What else have we got? I've got a little bottle holder on the side there. Find that very handy, to be honest. I just put it on just for how it looks, but I find it very handy. And then I've got these frame bags and tank vest, tank bra, whatever you want to call it. Again, I have ended up using these for random stuff, like I've got earplugs in that one, and other bits and bobs in the other one. And these I'm using, it's a great place to hold my keys when I'm riding, and just little bits and bobs. So they are proving useful, but that's not why I added them on. I just really added them for aesthetics. You may or may not have noticed, hopefully not, like amber reflectors have been blacked out. So the original ones that come with the bike, I've just put some black wrap on, like some smoke screen wrap on. And then I've also added extra ones. You can see there's one there, and coming back over, there's one up here. But I've blacked them out so that they're not as obvious, because I wanted that really sort of matte black look just to continue all the way through. I've also done another little cosmetic one, is chunky gold valve cap on there. I just like that. I just did it because I liked it. I've ordered some L-shaped ones to make it easier to reach those, but again, I'll stick with the original gold valve cap. I'm not sure about this, I forgot to mention, I'm not sure about this red cargo net, which is there so I can wrap other things over the pillion seat if I'm traveling and whatnot. But again, I probably won't be. It's just like post-apocalyptic chic, that's the idea. So, but I'm not sure I like the red. Like, I think I'll get a black net and see if I like that better instead. Anything else? Oh yeah, we've got the floodlights on here. So these again were off of AliExpress or Temu. They work quite well. When you turn the ignition on, they light up the ring or the edges, and then when you actually get the engine going, they'll turn on, and they'll turn on with the high beam. This is obviously a round headlamp, not the original one. This did come with the bike, so that's not one of my mods. But I did add some whimsical devil ears to it, you know, just for shits and giggles. So that's one of my mods. Again, we've got the 2 different sets of indicators doing the same job. One just looking like a regular indicator, and one doing the projection. Oh, the footboards I should mention as well. I'm not sure about these. I liked them at first because they are reminiscent of, they reflect the engine casing, you know, like that fake fins, and I thought, yeah, these look like fake fins, that'll work. But then I put the bags on, you can't really see the fake fins, so I'm not sure if I should just replace these with black ones. Not least because while this side is fine, the one on the other side, I'm gonna whiz around, I hope you're not getting too dizzy. The one on the other side, for some reason, it wants to, like, it doesn't want to stay flat. When I put my foot on it, it tilts forward. I'll try tightening it. I'm not sure what's going on. It's not going to do it now today, but it's made the footing a bit awkward. What else have we got? Oh yes, there was the relay for the aux power, and then I've used the aux power sockets behind the headlight to fit this USB thing, so I can charge my phone, and then I've got the phone holder right next to it, so I won't need a long wire or anything like that. I did try mounting this originally to the wing mirrors, but it was just too close to my face, so I prefer it there. The problem with the way I've mounted it there is I've mounted both of these, neither of them where they're supposed to be mounted to. I've mounted them both to the central bolt of a mounting bracket for this, like, short stubby black screen, which is again one that was designed for Harley and not for this bike, that I've just sort of bodged onto it, and then fixed the Givi screen which came with the bike originally. The owner was very nice to give me those. Fixed that Givi screen in front of it, so it's got, like, again, that sort of redundancy, sort of, rather than just have one screen, let's have two. And then I've of course added the extension on, because taking this bike up to 70 miles an hour will snap your neck off without one. So this setup works for me, with having the screen pretty vertical, and that extension just increasing the angle a bit more means I'm quite comfortable and cocooned behind there. You're probably all wondering about not this other skull and another black decal, but probably wondering about this mesh thing that it's just clearly mental and doesn't get anywhere near close to fitting the bike. That was one of the first bits that I bought, and it was just the wrong size and just doesn't fit anywhere. So rather than waste it or resell it, I just bodged some bracket setups so that it would sit there. If I find one that fits right behind, I'll just put it right behind so that there's two, because that's the look that I'm going for. The annoying thing is I had to use shiny silver screws, and I don't want silver anywhere really. I want black. I'm looking for some fork covers as well, so I can hide the silver on the forks. These things here, I had some bat wings taped to there that were, like, sweeping off in this direction, just again, a little bit of whimsy, a little bit of daftness, because you see that a lot in the Mad Max stuff. And I found they were annoying, and then when I fit the screen, they would, like, foul against the screen or the indicators, so I just snapped them off basically. One of them snapped off by accident. I've snapped the other one off. At some point I will undo the bolts so that there's not just some stubs there, but for now it doesn't really go against the look that I'm going for. Also, these hand guards were, again, cheap Temu / AliExpress purchases. You can usually find the same stuff on both sites, just choose which one's cheaper, or better still, don't buy from any of them, because it's all fucking horrible and evil and using Chinese slaves and too much plastic. But I don't have a lot of money, so that I've gone for this. I like the look of these, that's why I got them. They're a bit of a bastard to fit because they're not designed for this bike, they're designed for motocross bikes. But once I got them to fit, they're quite nice, and I'm going to leave them on for now. And that just leaves, I think that's pretty much everything, except obviously you'll have noticed the Delcovic exhaust there. So I swapped out the stock exhaust for the Delcovic 410mm bull nose with the baffle in, and it is ear bleedingly loud. I'm really not very happy with it. Yeah, it's just horrendously loud. Like if I'm riding and one of my earplugs slips a little bit loose, then then I'm not comfortable. I'm just dying. So I'm looking to swap that out. I also don't think it really looks right. It looks just too small for the bike. I'm looking for like a wider diameter, larger diameter, wider girth or something, and hopefully that'll slow things down and make kind of less of an offensive sound. Really, it sounds like a hooligan sound, and there's a lot of cracking and popping on decel, and it doesn't feel right. Like, it just doesn't feel right. I don't know if that's because I believe the booster plug is already fitted to this bike somewhere. I think that's what this little silver thing is, the air sensor off the booster plug. So maybe the combination of booster plug and aftermarket pipe is just causing some nonsense. I will start the bike up and let's see if this phone will pick up how loud the exhaust is. It probably won't, but let's give it a go anyways. Oh, I should say, like, in the side bags, these are just cheapos that I've had for years, but I've just got useful stuff like a pump for the tires, like an inflator, and a little sort of seat for my helmet. So I just keep that in one of the side bags, so that when I'm parking up, I've just got somewhere to seat the helmet without having to worry too much. That kind of thing. You might be able to see now I've turned the ignition on that I've got like these glowing lights in there. There's a bunch of different lights going on, like projector lights that I've talked about already. So I'll do a part 2 about the lights once it gets darker. But for now, let's just hear how this sounds. That's not too bad, right? Just idling. It's starting to get loud now. I'm not touching it, obviously. I don't know if you can hear on this camera how goddamn loud it is, but it's already fucking annoying. And it'll sit like that, revving like that. That's where it wants to be, making that amount of racket. And then going up through the first 3 gears, it sounds like a blooming race car, but let's just give it some revs. So yeah, it's not going to give me the cracks and popples that it does on decel, but either you'll not hear how loud that is because the phone will have dampened it, or it'll have cut out because it's so loud. But yeah, people warned me the Delcovic was loud, but I thought it can't be like that loud. I've had really loud pipes on my V-twins before, but no, they were right. A few things I forgot to mention earlier is the foot stand shoe, I guess. Took me a while to find one that actually fits. On AliExpress they just say it's for a Vulcan because they printed Vulcan S on it, but it's not. So look out for the review by me that says this is the one to buy for the Vulcan S. The rest of them are nonsense and too small and fall apart. I didn't mention the wing mirrors, but pretty much everybody changes the wing mirrors over, right? I really like these. Can't remember what they are, where I got them from. Sorry, but I think again they're a fairly common choice, and they're good. They good field of view. Speaking of mirrors, I added this thing, which is another cheapo Temu purchase. Kind of handy, just to keep an eye on what's going on right next to you. Eliminate as many blind spots as possible. And the other thing I forgot to mention was this radiator grill protector. I bought that thinking it would be necessary, and then it turned out there's already one fitted, which is the same, like hexagonal honeycomb one, just without the branding on. So I just left it on and put this one on top. I don't know if you can really tell. You can't really tell looking at this, but it means that there's like less chance of stones getting through, basically, because the hexagons are kind of offset slightly. So still enough space for the air to get through and to cool the engine down, but less space for stones, so I'm quite happy with that. Okay, the sun is just about set, so I'm going to head home. I will show you the light situation when I get to my parking garage. In the meantime, I'm going to see if I can position this phone somewhere near enough the exhaust so you can hear revving through the gears as I travel between the Asda fuel station and my house. Alright, let's see if this works. Okay, so last but not least, just showing off all the lights. So yeah, like I said, the when the key is turned on, the sort of halo on the headlight comes on, but that's the only thing that does. You have to turn the engine on to get anything else to work, so I'll do that briefly. The headlight's already on, as are the side lights, fog lights, spotlights, whatever you want to call them. And then if I flick on the high beam, see that kicking in. And it kind of makes a difference here as well. Just going to turn that off. Don't need to waste fuel. Okay. What else have I got? I have got projecting from each side of the bike. I've got some angel wings like this. If I stand the bike up, maybe I can show you both sides. So when you're riding it, they're sort of out there. Yeah, the other one's way back here. And then when I pull the brake lever, I've got projector lights saying stop out the back there as well. That works for both front and rear brake, as you'd expect. And then obviously we've got the indicators. If I just whack the hazards on, you see, so the indicators project down onto the floor, all of which makes driving a matte black bike at night a lot safer, basically. You can, because it's leaned over, the one at the back isn't spreading out as far as it normally would, but if you stand the bike up straight, then the projectors line up straight. Currently they don't look like they do, but I promise you they do. Anything else in terms of the only thing is the little original spotlight, that one stays on as like a riding light, same as this one at the top, but the main one, the one above that little one, I had thought I had wired that to stay on as well, and then light up when I brake, but it currently only lights up when I brake. So I might have to go in and have a look at the wiring on that one. Although it doesn't matter, I don't think it would fail an MOT at this point, because it's got running light red, and then it's got a brake light that comes on, as well as those two projectors saying stop. The other thing is the original rear light has this white reg lamp on it, which is no use where it's located and where the reg is located. So I need to remove that light or block it off somehow, and then I also need to attach a reg light that'll shine on the reg. I don't think I need that to pass an MOT, so I can maybe skip that, but it would be fun to wire one up anyways. I've got lots of spare wire from all these projects, so I might try and wire up a little LED to the bottom of the rack or something that will then point down and shine on the reg. Okay, that's me for now. Oh yeah, well obviously there's the one I told you about, these glowing lights inside the engine case and inside the bike. I currently have them set to just slowly fade in and out of different colours, but you can use an app on your phone to set them to any colour, and you can set it steady or you can set it flashing between different types. I could fire up the app and show you that now, but I'm sure you can imagine how that all works. Yeah, oh, one thing, yeah, just these little indicators, even with the hazards on, they do the little pattern to show you which way they're indicating, which is nice. All right, that is everything I've done to my KVS. It started off as a fairly pared back, sleek black bike with black decals, which is exactly what I was looking for, just something totally matte black, to sort of turn into a rat bike. And then I got a bit carried away, and now it's more like a sort of Mad Max-esque post-apocalyptic chic bike. It's hard to say. I don't really care what you think, because I like it, but hey, let me know what you think.